All right, our next agency is Revel.
Thank you. Test, test. Okay, we're good?
I think we're good.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and get started if you guys are all ready. Thank you again for having us here today. We're here to present what we see as a great path for you forward, promoting Eureka Springs to the surrounding area. Just to introduce myself, my name is Chris Jarrett. I'm one of our founders. I'm also our Chief Creative Officer. So I have over 20 years of agency experience. My typical day-to-day, though, is working on creative projects with our creative team, pushing them to create new and amazing concepts for our clients. And that is my primary role at Revel.
Thanks, Chris. Hello, my name is Emma Abbott. I'm an account executive at Revel Advertising. My background is in design and communication, so my expertise lies in creative and production projects. I've worked on everything from design projects specifically to video projects across multiple industries and markets.
So before we kind of dive into the whole presentation, I wanted to give you just a little bit of a taste of some of the work that we've done over the last couple of years. I'm going to stop it right there. We'll meet up with this couple a little bit later in the presentation. But for right now, I want to tell you a little bit about what we believe at Revel. We're here to see what's true about your brand and then create what's next. We really revel in solving our clients' specific challenges. So we look for partnerships where we can really understand everything about your whole brand holistically so that every objective that we're tackling, we can bring that perspective to the answer. We think it can actually be fun to dig into these challenges. We like our clients to have fun with us too. We believe in the power of creativity, and those brands that we work with that also believe in that power of creativity see excellent results. Not only do the companies we work with see great results, we've been lucky enough to see great results within the industry as well. Over our 13 years in business, we've won 13 national tele awards, over 100 Addy awards, including a Best in Show for a DMO in a different market, and numerous other awards over those years. But the one I'm most proudest of is the Chamber of Commerce Small Business of the Year Award, because while it's important to do great work for our clients, it's also important that our people are great too.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, so we wanted to specifically talk about our team. The clients that we work with are amazing, but we also have a pretty amazing team here at Revel, and we wanted to showcase them since they all couldn't be here today. So you've heard from Chris. Chris is our Chief Creative Officer and partner. Katie Jones, unfortunately, couldn't be here today due to a sickness. She was very, very sad she couldn't make it, but Katie is our account supervisor. So she oversees our accounts team, and she has specific expertise in hospitality and tourism and would be the main person that you would get to work with if you decided to go with us as your main agency. And then I introduced myself as well. I'm an account executive, so I work closely with Katie on a number of projects at Revel. And a lot of times, if we are specifically working on a project, I could jump in if that was her client, helping out with some of those more creative projects. So you could see some of my face as well. We also have Nicole Jarrett. She is our CEO, strategy director, and partner. She works very closely with Matt Price. Matt is our digital marketing director. So they work together on specific digital strategy, making sure that all of those ad creative concepts work together with their digital strategy all the way through execution of those digital campaigns. We have Cameron Dunneman here as well. He is our design director. Cameron has been working at Revel Advertising for a number of years, and he oversees every creative project that comes through our doors, and there's nothing that goes out our doors without his stamp of approval. We also have Melinda Brinker here. She is our senior designer. So Melinda has a really quirky design style that I think would match perfectly with Eureka Springs. She is a very, very talented designer, and her specific expertise is in web design. We also have a number of external partners. So we are a small team, but we work with external partners depending on what that client need might be. Here we've highlighted 2 of our external partners that we've worked with previously in the past on other hospitality and tourism clients. So as you can see here, we have Sarah Jenkins, and she is our main copywriter for hospitality and tourism. And we also have Charlie Rosenberry, who is our lead developer for all website work. So we really wanted to talk to you guys about partnership. Partnership and collaboration is one of our main values here at Revel. We truly want to be an extension of your team. All of our clients that come to us, our goal is to work directly with them and make sure that everything that they're saying is met with our creative vision and strategic focus, so where we can really come together and partner as a team and deliver you the results that you are specifically looking for. So we wanted to call out specifically this testimonial here. This is Donna Tuttle. Donna Tuttle works for Whataburger. She's the group director of brand communication and culture. Donna is wonderful, and we wanted to pull this one up specifically because here you see she specifically calls out creating a strategy and executing beyond her expectations. Revel did that. And ultimately, that is what our goal is with every single client that comes to us. We want to go beyond your expectations so that we can revel in the results and celebrate all of the end products that we come up with. Okay, so as you can see here, we have we've pulled some of our brand partners up for you guys. Now, this isn't a full, extensive list of all the clients that we've worked with over the years. This is just a few that we felt would be most important to you all to see. To call out just a few in the hospitality and tourism area, we've worked with Big Cypress Lodge, we've worked with Finley Farms, Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce, Springfield CVB, just to name a few. Now, we are not specifically a hospitality and tourism specialized agency by any means, but we do think that that is something that helps us stand out, and it does make us unique from maybe some of the other partners that you guys have talked with today. I feel like us not having one special industry kind of gives us a diverse look at things. You know, we do feel like we have a diversified team. We feel like that makes us adaptable, and ultimately it helps us with our network and having connections and opportunities like we're having today. So, and also, you know, that too helps us collaborate over those markets as well. And then here we wanted to show you guys kind of just a map. In that last slide, we do have some national partners, but a majority of our clients are located right here in the Midwest. We're just a short 2-hour drive away from you guys, so we really feel like we understand this demographic. We are working with and speaking to this audience all of the time, and more specifically, we've worked with speaking to audiences, let's say in Texas or Tennessee or Oklahoma, and making sure they know why they should come to Missouri or Arkansas or the Ozark region, and why we're unique. So why partner with Revel, right? That's the big question. That's why we're here. Truly, like I said earlier, partnership is our biggest thing, and that is something that we definitely want to get across to you guys. But also, we are a full-service agency. So whether that is branding, websites, video, maybe you need a digital campaign of some sort, or maybe you need all of those things, and you want to do full campaign development and execution, we are that for you. We can do all of those things, and I think the best part of that is that we're seeing all of those puzzle pieces every step of the way, making sure that they're cohesive and that vision that you have originally, the goals that you have, all come together cohesively to make out this beautiful final product. So that leads me into specifically talking about our campaign development philosophy. So we really wanted to show this to you all because we don't ever want to create anything without a strategic vision in place, without that research, without starting with our why. So we really take audience understanding as our very first step in our philosophy. And then we'll move into that strategic planning, making sure that we understand and we know why we're making the decisions that we are anytime before we get into doing creative. So then we'll move into our creative concepts. That's the fun stuff, if you ask me. And then it goes into our creative execution. And I really feel like our philosophy for campaign development goes along perfectly with our tactical creative process. So what's actually going on? What does the process look like when you partner with us as an agency? Typically, we'll start with research. That could look like a discovery meeting, and then us taking what we heard from you all back to our team to do all of the nitty-gritty research and understanding exactly where we're going. We'll start with research, then go into concept layout, and I really wanted to call out design revisions because anytime we have something that's coming in, we want to make sure we get to present you with our creative ideas, but also work with you and partner with you and collaborate with you and hear your revisions and feedback that you might have for us specifically. And then once we get down to a final product, we will prep for final files, and basically that looks like us just getting you all the tools that you need to make sure that this can be executed.
So Emma got all the tough stuff and had to tell you the what we do. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the results that we've seen over the years. We've pulled out 2 case studies for you guys today. I may have cheated a little on this first one and kind of squeezed 2 into 1, but it really goes to show kind of how we've evolved with our partnerships over the years, and I think it's a good example of that process as we go through it. So back in 2020, about 3 months into the pandemic, I'm sure you guys don't want to think about that time, but as you know, it was challenging for a lot of businesses, but especially for DMOs in the hospitality and tourism industry. That was about the time that the Springfield CVB received a state grant to do some marketing, but it had some pretty strict parameters to the actual deliverables that they had to produce and how they had to utilize that money, whatnot that existed in there. So they knew they needed an agency that was nimble and quick, like us, and that was paid a big attention to detail. They had to make sure that they accomplished everything that was written in the grant to fulfill that. So they came to us with a pretty big need right off the bat. Not only did they need to produce 60-second spots, 30-second spots, some 15s, but they also needed to gain a lot of new library assets because they were about to produce a new website as well through another partner. So not only were we needed to help them out to promote the area, we also needed to help them build out and flesh out that library that would be used for the website, but also in the future for their magazine and other social media materials. So I'm gonna kind of, hey, there's our bike people again that we left off with. So I'm gonna show you kind of the end result of this quick project, and then we'll kind of back up and talk about how we got to where we are.
When every week looks the same, why not give yourself a weekend? A weekend of unforgettable family experiences, outdoor adventure, unparalleled dining, craft breweries, live entertainment, and more. A weekend in Springfield, Missouri. Visit springfieldmo.org to see how we're keeping Springfield safe for all. Then grab your mask and give yourself a weekend here in Springfield.
So as you can see there, that was just one of the quick 30-second spots that we produced for them there. What we're able to do within their budget is define 9 locations that produce 27 specific distinct vignettes that we're able to get a number of different assets for. As I mentioned, they needed to flesh out their whole asset library, and so obviously that was going to be a challenge with the mask mandate, but we were able to maximize their budget by taking all of the photography and video that we got masked. We were also able to get about 90% of it unmasked as well. So not only did it accomplish their immediate need by showing all the things that need to be showed to fit the grant, it provided them with assets that they're still using to this day. We also produced a 60-second spot that went a little more in depth about the mask mandate, but then we're able to produce some of these quicker 30-second spots that were really more about promoting the area, and then some 15s as well, all of which had variations that used masks and didn't, depending on where the mandate was at the time, to extend their life period that they could use them for. Additionally, we came up with this idea, as you could kind of tell there, we really wanted to kind of lean into the human truth of the moment at the beginning. Everyone was kind of cooped up and looking for something to do. As we worked with our team, we said, okay, what's unique about Springfield? Well, there is a lot of outdoor areas. How can we really show people cooped up inside, and how can we subvert that and send them, almost directly transport them to a place where, yes, you're still going to be safe, but you can enjoy a lot of the outdoor amenities and activities that we have. So we took that a step further and created 8 POV videos as well that really took that to the next level that they utilized in social and on the website. I will show you one of those right now. So it's just a quick little way to kind of put you in the moment that they were able to utilize again on social and on their website. And of the 9 locations that we shot at, 8 of them worked really well for this application and extended what they were able to do with their budget. What this means, though, is it led to record-breaking results for them. Springfield was actually the fastest metro in Missouri to recover to pre-pandemic occupancy numbers in the state. And they set a monthly record for occupancy in January of 2021, just shortly, I'd say about 3 months into running this campaign. We've been awarded 2 National Tele Awards for our work with the CVB, as well as 3 AAF Addy Awards, including Best of Show for work done for them. So that was our very first engagement. We had about a month and a half to turn that around. You know, it was quick. They had to get that out so that they could use it within the time frame of the grant, but we were able to accomplish that. About a year later, they came back to us and said, okay, we have a little more time on our hands now. We've kind of got a sense of where the pandemic's going. Let's go ahead and think a little bit deeper about how we can position Springfield uniquely, right? There's 33 Springfields across the U.S. It's not exactly, there's not one thing that makes Springfield unique, right? So we had a tough challenge. And as we really dug into the research, talked with other locals, and looked at other DMOs and what ones that were being successful were doing, we really came up with this idea about how welcoming Springfield is. It's a place you can come to on the weekend, so it piggybacks off our last campaign where you don't have to have a huge plan. You can come right in, ask a local. They're more than happy to tell you about their favorite burger place or their favorite ballpark or wherever they love the most. They're excited to tell you about that perspective. And so instead of using the typical, B-roll and VO that a lot of DMOs kind of use, we said, how can we really grab people's attention? And so some of the case studies that we looked at that were more successful in this area were really using a lot of dialogue to tell the story. And so it was a little challenging, but within the budget, we were able to find local actors because that was one of the requirements from the CVB is that we used all local talent in the position. So that did add a little bit of an extra challenge to the concept that we wanted to create, but we found this really unique way to do it. And I'm gonna kind of walk you through the process there. I'm hoping that this demonstrates really how we tend to look at challenges through a strategic lens, but also the strategic challenges we try to be creative about. Better? Yes. All right. Thank you, Emma. So as I mentioned, we had a little bit more time with this project, so we were able to do a little more research and really dig into data that they had, case studies, focus groups, and worked with the CVB to identify 6 personas that they really wanted to market to. That included outdoor enthusiasts, empty nesters, entertainment seekers, foodies, young couples, and families. So armed with these new personas, we went about selecting some strategic sites that highlighted the city in ways that would resonate with these personas. We were able to identify 14 locations that worked within the budget two of which were going to work as kind of intro and in card to the video that we were working with, which allowed us to have 12 other locations left to work with our creative. So we thought, how can we tell a fun story, maximize these locations, but really get people's curiosity and interest up? So we took these 12 locations and we created combination pairings out of each of them. And each of them either have a fun play on words or they subvert expectations, anything to kind of drive your curiosity and make you stay longer to engage with the content. And I think you'll see in the results that it was pretty impressive. What this afforded us, though, is an opportunity to be modular with these assets. So within a, not a huge budget, we were able to produce a number of different assets for them to utilize. The deliverables for this actual assignment were 6 6-second spots, which we were able to create with these pairings, but only 4 15s and 2 30s. But because of the modular process that we built here, you'll be able to see that we had a way to maximize those possibilities, because you can make 15 different pairings out of those 6 combinations. So you're able to get 15 unique spots for maybe what you thought you would pay for, 4. It allowed this campaign, which is still running, to keep going, last a long time, and be highly effective. Additionally, that also meant that there were more options for the 30s as well, because you can make pairings of 4, 15 different ways out of the 6 options that are there. So I'm not an algebra person, but somehow it worked out that way, and we were pretty happy to see that we were able to maximize their budget and really kind of going beyond expectations that they had set for the campaign. I'll show you a little bit now about how that worked and how those modular elements played upon one another to build out those various 6, 15, and 30-second spots.
Know what I really love?
Bird watching. So come see us in Springfield. We'll show you around.
So you can see there, it's very short. That was to be used in pre-rolls and continue within the funnel of other visuals that they have seen. But we use that to build onto the 15.
When you visit Springfield, ask the local.
We know where there's drama.
They're raising drama.
Know what I really love?
Bird watching. Your getaway isn't far away. So come see us in Springfield. We'll show you around.
So we were able to create a number of those different 15s using all those different modular sets. I won't go through all of them, but then I want you to see how the 30 turned out there, and we were able to create multiple ones of those as well.
When you visit Springfield, ask the local.
You know where to get a bite.
Or a bite.
Know what I really love?
Bird watching.
We know where there's drama.
They're raising drama.
We know the best watering holes. Cheers to that.
Your getaway isn't far away. So come see us in Springfield. We'll show you around.
So you can see how they were able to keep visual consistency and theme throughout as they went from a 30 to a 15 to a 6, and really allowed them to maximize that exposure in a lot of different mediums. Additionally, on top of that, we did also work with them to art direct photography for outdoor as well as print for this campaign, so that there was a consistent feel everywhere, that there was a touch point with the brand throughout the area. Here you can see it in print. We were really happy to find a way to still keep that kind of combination aspect that was going on in the videos by using designing ads that worked as double trucks here to really still give you that feel and play of kind of a play on words sometimes, or subverting expectations that we did in other times. So it turned out to be a really fun campaign to work on. We love working on projects in the hospitality and tourism industry. They're always fun. You get to work with fun people. But the part that I love best was the results of this campaign. In 2021, Springfield set a historic record for occupancy. And, there was a lot of, we did not place the media for this project, but we know a lot had to do with the creative that we were able to produce and fulfill the media plan they had in place. I just wanted to highlight some of the things that Megan had to say, the marketing director at the Springfield CVB. The thing I'm most proudest of is really just how she speaks to our creative, and how we were able to kind of come up with a common vision with her and execute it beyond their expectations. But really, what really made me happy was seeing that engagement across all digital platforms increased during this campaign's run. Anyone can buy a ton of impressions, but when you see engagement numbers go up, you know you've hit the mark on the creative, right? It's not just what you feel, but you're seeing actual data that's telling you it's working. And that was pretty awesome to see. 2022 trended successfully as well. We came just short of breaking the record there, but a number of months set monthly records in 2022 as well as they ran the campaign. So that kind of sums up some of the work that we've done for the CVB in Springfield. Another one of our clients that I wanted to highlight today is Wonders of Wildlife. You guys probably are familiar with that brand. We actually work with a number of the Johnny Morris hospitality brands. We work with Dogwood Canyon, just right up the road in Lampe from you guys, Finley Farms, Big Cypress in Memphis, and a number of other brands under that umbrella. But I wanted to show you some of the stuff we did for Wonders of Wildlife, because the last case study was more on the creative side. This one, we're a creative agency. It's going to have creative in it, but it goes a little bit more on the strategic side and speaks to our process on at least the digital marketing side of things. So we actually started working with them in 2020 as well. A busy year for us. So Wonders of Wildlife reopened in 2017, and they won the best museum aquarium in the U.S. by USA Today in 2017. Then they won in 2018. And then they didn't win in 2019. So in 2020, they came to us and said, we want to win again. Johnny likes to win those things. So we put together a campaign that not only had kind of a two-pronged approach. How can we increase impressions, but also increase votes, right? So we created a number of digital assets to promote the voting for Wonders of Wildlife, but also showcasing all the unique animals that they have there. So this is just a small sampling of what we were able to produce for them for that. But the success of that led to more work. They loved the designs of those, so then we went on to produce multiple digital campaigns for them across a number of different areas. We have focuses in Kansas City, St. Louis, Memphis, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Northwest Arkansas, Little Rock. And we're able to create digital marketing strategies for each of those different geographic areas. So as the need changes for them, they're able to either market a little bit closer to a local region or some of those outlining drive markets depending on their needs at the time. As you can see there too, they do have a pretty robust in-house team. So we provided assets to their in-house team where they produce their print in-house. So they were able to execute creative that felt similar and consistent with what the message we were putting out there to work cohesively across the brand. So then that ran successfully, but we started talking to them last year about this system that we're running for a number of clients in different industries, predominantly in the financial and PI law and maybe some more competitive search areas. And they were really excited about it. So we call it our digital progressive optimization system. It's kind of a mouthful. But what it does is it blends creative iterations and data analysis to maximize performance. So we create tons and tons of different creative looks and hooks, messages, and test those. And we test them enough to figure out which ones are working best, and then we iterate on that based on the data that we get. So by testing multiple visuals and the different messaging combinations, we're able to find out what works best first before we push out full-blown campaigns. A lot of people do it kind of backwards, but digital really affords you a lot of opportunity to learn more about your target market. And we learned from each campaign to refine the audiences and their preferences, but also what future campaign themes would be. So to show you an example of how we've done that, we put together this idea last year for them to really demonstrate how kids interact at Wonders of Wildlife. Typically they like to see all the animals that they have there, but we felt there was an opportunity to target moms, so we built out a separate persona for moms and show kids how they're interacting, how much fun they're having, and we tested over a dozen different combinations of visuals and messaging and refined it down to the ones that work best. They loved that idea so much that we pitched another one about doing live kid testimonials. So we were able to test that. It worked good, and now they're actually producing all that in-house. So they have kid testimonials that's really driving a lot of traffic. And it's just a unique way that I hope once again shows that when we partner with you, it's not always us executing everything, but we try to think as holistically as possible about all the opportunities that present itself with your brand. Then the ones over on the end, those were just another idea. We tested about a dozen of those too. Again, for the mom demographic, but a different idea, right? Moms are concerned with screen time for their kids, so how can we kind of tease into that fear and utilize that to drive action? What we've seen, when we were working with them in the past doing our more standard digital strategies, numbers were okay, but they really challenged us to improve in a number of areas. And we've exceeded their expectations there. 2023 year-to-date results, we have over 5 million digital impressions, but we've reduced the acquisition cost for those ads to purchase tickets by 40%, and that was huge. They wanted 10%, so we more than tripled what their expectations were on that. We saw a 160% increase in online ticket purchases as well. So a number of tickets were being purchased that would not normally be done. And we were able to grow the views on YouTube by 270,000. So it's a highly successful campaign that's still running now. We continually iterate on it on a monthly basis. We work. Yeah, I'll hop into that in a second. We work with our clients in a number of ways, and really showing results on a daily basis is something that we have access for you to do that I'll let Emma talk about. But we really value being able to meet and talk through all these problems too. We don't just want to provide you data and let you figure it out.
Thank you. Yeah, so like Chris said, we want to show you what we're working on at all times. We're a true partner to you guys, which means you should be up to date on all of the things that are happening at our agency for you and your brand. So like Chris said, we have these wonderful digital tools here. There is a screen grab on the left side of the screen, and that shows our Excello Workflow Client Portal. Basically what that portal is something that you can digitally jump on, see where your projects are at, what design revision phase they're in, are they getting prepped for final files, and when am I going to see that exactly? So you can have that at your hands at all times. And then also on this side of the screen, we have our customized 24/7 digital analytics portal. Now that sounds really, really fancy, but basically what that is essentially the same thing, but for your digital analytics and your digital campaigns. So this is available to you 24/7 as well for you to jump on and see exactly how those digital campaigns are performing. With digital campaigns specifically, like Chris said, we are always trying to put stuff out and test it and see what's working and learn from it. We want to take that guesswork out. So with digital campaigns, you're having to update things pretty frequently. So with this 24/7 access to your portal of analytics and what exactly is going on with your campaign is super beneficial for you guys.
So I just want to close and open it up for questions, but I want to close saying, there's a number of agencies out there that are larger than us. Most of them are, but we think our size allows us to be nimble and flexible to adapt to the partners that we work with. There's a number of agencies that have been around longer than us. We've been in business 13 years, and I'm very proud of the work that we've done over those years. And we have an amazing team in place right now, and we're really looking forward to the work that we're going to do in the future. And there's a number of agencies that specialize just with DMOs, and they do good work. But a lot of times they can fall into that trap of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and you can get the same B-roll and VO and strategies that they do for every other market. That's not what we do. We work with a lot of different industries, and we take each brand under our wing and find out what is unique about it, position it well, and communicate it to its target market. And we think if that's what you're looking for, we would be the agency for you. Thank you, and welcome any questions you may have.
I'll start off with, well, you've already answered that one, so I guess not. You answered their questions. They had some good questions, but you answered them. So, well, what do you think your specialty is? I mean, I know you talked about you do a lot of good things, and everyone did when they talked today, but what's your core?
Yeah, I think it's how we're able to think creatively about strategic problems and challenges, but also how we make sure that we're strategic with the creative we do. Hopefully you saw that with just the creative campaign that we did for the CVB. We could have went out there, gave them the deliverables they asked for, but we knew what the budget was. We saw how we could create a system with those modular component pairs and really maximize the dollars that they spent that provided them the assets to move forward with for a much longer time than they had initially anticipated.
So it looks like a strength too is regionally. You feel like you're pretty tapped in regionally. How do you well, expand on that? How
Sure.
you feel you guys work on the regional stuff?
Yeah, I mean, really it's just from the experience in this area. You know, a number of our clients outside of the hospitality and tourism also market in this area. One of our larger clients is Hammond's Products Company out of Stockton, Missouri. So we're marketing to a number of different demographics for them all throughout the Midwest and the South. You know, we've worked with so many different companies in this area. I mean, like with Wonders of Wildlife, we hit a lot of the markets that I think would be probably primary markets that we would look at for you guys as well.
So what do you do regional PR-wise? What are some like kind of maybe niche something you do regionally?
Yeah, from a PR standpoint, that's probably our weakest area, if I'm going to be honest with you. We've had limited interactions there. From a small regional standpoint, talking Branson, Springfield, Joplin, that's primarily where we've done a lot of PR work. That was our engagement with Whataburgers, helping them penetrate into Missouri, and they worked with us for those markets as well. So it's something I think we could expand outside of that area. I don't feel uncomfortable doing it, but from an experience larger region, that would be the one area of challenge that we would have.
And your office is in Springfield?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Do we have any written questions?
So, knowing that you, like you said, you didn't have a lot of experience or don't have a lot of experience with hospitality, cities, so forth and so on, what made you respond to this RFP?
Honestly, excitement. We enjoyed the process working with the CVB in Springfield so much that this is really an industry that is fun to work in, to be honest with you. And while it's not an area of specialty for us necessarily, I mean, we've worked with probably close to a dozen brands in that area. I mean, we worked with the City of Springfield. We've worked with the Springfield Hotel and Lodging Association, worked with the City of Republic, worked with Wonders of Wildlife, Oasis Hotel and Convention Center. So there's probably a dozen or so that touch this space. We also have 4 or 5 clients in the economic development space too, so which is somewhat of an adjacency to this. You know, it's placemaking at its heart, right, and how you position that brand. So while I would say we are not solely, an agency for DMOs, I think we do understand the unique challenges that you guys have, but we can take a fresh perspective to it.
So how many direct employees do you have, and how many accounts active do you have?
Yep, 7 employees, 30 active accounts. Yep. We probably partner with, 30 or 40 local partners. All of our partners are actually in Missouri and local that we utilize. So whether it's video, photography, development, copywriters, they're right in our office working, across the table from us. That's one thing we value. If we're your agency of choice, we plan to be down here a lot, so you're going to see a lot of us. I'm not a huge fan of Zoom. I mean, it can be handy when it's handy, but I'm kind of old school. I'm a dinosaur in this industry. I'm 45. I still like to come shake people's hands and kind of dig into what's unique about each brand that we work with. So I'm not really interested in just doing the expected. If you're interested in really kind of digging into what's unique about your brand and figuring out a unique way to tell that story, that is something I'm very interested in.
I'm guessing, but it seemed like maybe videography is your specialty, maybe? No?
We do a lot in that space, but usually, honestly, a lot of those projects start out as brand development projects. I would say of anything, helping brands figure out who they are, position themselves uniquely in the market. What does that communication strategy and that cohesive messaging strategy look like? Is probably about 50% of the work we do, and then the other 50% kind of, yeah, here.
You're good. I was just gonna say, and you saw a lot of the video because video is what works. And so whenever we are coming up with those ideas at the very beginning, we want to be able to showcase it, right? Like we cannot explain to you every single thing that we do at Revel, but it's way easier to show it to you. And that's how video is too today in the digital landscape. Video performs so well, and so that's why you saw a lot of that today.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.